Hey guys, this is Kalani Laker, and you're listening to the 3Gun Show podcast with Dave Hartman.
Welcome to the 3Gun Show, episode 38. I am your host, Dave Hartman, and this is a special bonus quickie episode with Daniel Horner and Tyler Payne of the Army Marksmanship Unit. Before we get into the interview, I want to thank you for downloading and listening to the show. The 3Gun Show is a weekly podcast dedicated to the fastest growing shooting sport, 3Gun. I've been hanging on to this interview looking for a good opportunity to fit it in the normal schedule. And with Daniel's recent win at the 3Gun Nation Pro Championship, I figured it was a good time. Plus, Mac, who you might know as Bullet McQueen on YouTube, threatened to stop listening to the show if I didn't bring Daniel Horner on. So we can't have that. Mac, keep listening, bud. All right, so this episode I recorded when I was down at Rocky Mountain 3Gun. The time was limited. I was able to catch up with Daniel and Tyler in between shooting a stage and walking a stage. They just got done shooting and they're getting ready to watch or walk the next day's stages. So they only had a few minutes, but they were kind enough to take the time to get on the show and chat about it a little bit. And hopefully I'll be able to get both of them individually on for a deep dive interview in the future. In this interview, you're going to learn how the Army Marksmanship Unit trains for explosive movement, the biggest lessons you can learn from precision rifle, and how to apply them to 3Gun. Links to everything we discuss can be found in the show notes, so just head on over to 3gunshow.com/episode 38 when you get a minute. And now, please join me in welcoming to the show, Daniel Horner and Tyler Payne. All right, we're here at the 2015 Rocky Mountain 3Gun. I'm Dave Hartman. This is the 3Gun Show, and I'm here speaking with Daniel Horner, who just shot stage 5. Is that right? And this is a back-and-forth stage where you have to shoot a shotgun and pistol. First of all, Daniel, thanks for joining me on the show.
I appreciate the opportunity, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Well, this is great. So we just saw you smoke the stage here. Everyone shot really well. No DQs or anything like that, so successful stage. This is an interesting one because you have to take 2 targets from each position with each weapon at minimum, right? Now, you shot mostly pistol on this one. How did you make that decision?
Well, me and one of the guys on my team, Tyler Payne, we were looking at it. He and I both shoot pistol pretty well. So the advantage to the pistol was I have extra rounds in the gun, whereas the shotgun, if you miss one, you have to load that shell back into your shotgun. So as we broke the stage down, we were looking at it. We were wanting to shoot pistol, but there's a lot of 25, 30-yard small steel. So we were kind of going back and forth, and then we saw a bunch of guys on the squad. Since we were down in the squad, we had the opportunity to watch some good shooters go through it, and everybody was running pretty similar times. So we thought if we run it the same way they're running it, then we'll probably end up with a similar time. And if we shoot the pistol, it should be a little bit quicker, but there's that disaster factor. So we figured it was about 5 to 8 seconds faster shooting the pistol than the shotgun, and decided to go with it because even if there was an issue with the pistol, we had that buffer of 5 to 8 seconds before we really started losing ground. Mm-hmm. So the real test was to be able to do all that sprinting and still be able to slow down enough to hit a headshot at 25 yards and let the sight sell, make one good shot on it, and move on. And it paid off for us both.
Now, this seems to be like a common stage that you see at a lot of matches. They make you shoot from different boxes and do a back and forth, various weapons, rifle, pistol, shotgun, or just in this case, shotgun, pistol. Is this something that you guys have put into your practice?
We do. Actually, entering and exiting the positions and shooting on the move is actually, to me, a lot more important than actual shooting of the weapon or the guns. The guys in the top 10 are all relatively similar in skill set as far as that physically being able to shoot the targets. What it really boils down to is who's able to take an extra target on the move, or who's able to get the shot off half, 3/4 of a second earlier than the other guy, or maybe you get a big open paper as you're actually leaving the position, and it saves you 3/4 of a second or so, and all those little fractions of a second add up to 5 or 6 seconds over the course of a stage.
Gotcha. So it's more about the transitions and the moving for saving time than it is the actual shooting.
Yep. The shooting, I mean, you still have to make the shots, obviously, but all all the guys are capable of hitting the target. So after that, it comes down to who's able to do the hitting the most efficiently.
Right. Right. So then you're sprinting from box to box in this. Do you guys do like wind sprints in practice?
I mean, part of the Army is the physical fitness side of it. So we all stay in decent shape. I mean, we all PT every day, and a lot of it is the short explosive movement type stuff. And we actually have a drill we do quite a bit where there's a lot of back and forth sprinting. You know, two plate racks on each side of a bay, and you get one shot from 15 yards at each plate rack, and you have to run from left side of the bay to the right side of the bay. And it gets your heart rate up and works on that discipline a little bit.
Right. So who can bench more, you or Tyler?
Tyler, by a lot.
Right on. Well, that's awesome. So now, how does the elevation play into effect? I hear from a lot of guys that are coming from lower elevation, flatliner. Like I'm from Colorado, so it doesn't seem that big of a difference to me, but I'm also not running back and forth up here.
It's not. I think we're, 5,000 feet or something. It's not too terrible. I mean, it's I wouldn't really consider it a huge factor. We're not really going that far, but it does wear on you a little bit. If you got a 200-yard sprint and then you got to lay down and shoot a 400 or 500-yard target, you got to give that extra little bit of a second to let the sights settle on the target before you crank that round off. But it's really not too bad.
So some of these longer stages that involve like running and then hitting the rifle target.
Yeah, anything with precision at the end of the stages is where you'll start to see it, and you'll start seeing a difference in who's been keeping up with their PT over the last little bit of time.
So you can tell just by looking at someone.
Yeah, you can tell when they get done. You know, if they're beat red and huffing and puffing, you got a little bit of advantage, especially after a long 3 or 4 day match like this. Being able to stay in relatively good shape and then taking care of your body through the whole thing, drinking water and eating at regular intervals. By that third day, you're still relatively fresh and you're not beat down and exhausted.
So how much water have you gone through over this day, this being your last stage?
Yesterday, I drank a gallon and a quart. And today, I'm not exactly sure, but usually try to drink a little over a gallon a day.
Gotcha.
Probably ought to drink more, but,
Well, gallon's better than I see a lot of people doing. I see a lot of people out here with Cokes and Dr. Pepper and stuff like that. So you got to, got one on them anyway. So.
We just grab a gallon of water and got to finish it by the last stage. So
cool. That's a good philosophy. So you've got one more day of shooting and then shoot off on Sunday. Is that right?
Yep.
So what stages do you have to look forward to tomorrow?
We're actually getting ready to go look at the last 3 stages right now. One of them's a really long 56 round, 170-yard run pistol stage. So that's going to be pretty intense. I like that, though. I like getting the pistol in my hand.
Nice. Yeah, I heard some guys talking about that one. Sounds like there's some hill involved, too. So that's going to be where the PT plays into effect on this, too.
Yep. Definitely doesn't hurt. Run a little bit.
Well, excellent. I won't keep you too much here. I'll let you go walk those stages. Thanks for joining me on the 3 Gun Show.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you. Take care.
All right, once again, we're at the Rocky Mountain 3 Gun. This is the 3 Gun Show. I am Dave Hartman, and standing here with me is Tyler Payne of the Army Marksmanship Unit. Tyler, welcome to the 3 Gun Show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here finally.
Excellent. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I've watched you guys just smoke some stages here, and you came up with the same plan as Daniel did, but you shot it a little bit different because of your equipment. Now, you're running a different division. What division are you shooting this weekend?
Yeah, I'm actually shooting open this weekend because all the members of the team had to run a different division, so we all split divisions, and I ended up with the Go Fast guns.
Nice. And how did you make that draw? Is that like a strong suit for you shooting open?
I've shot Trooper before at Ironman, so I had a little bit of experience with the red dot sights and all that, and the other shooters had experience on the other stuff, so it was just kind of a natural thing.
Okay. And what made you guys split it up that way?
For the team event, we all had to shoot different divisions to qualify for it.
Cool. And that's what's on Sunday?
Yep.
Cool. So how does that team event work?
I really don't know.
Just get there and shoot fast?
Yeah, hopefully.
Don't miss?
I think it's a shoot-off format, so we'll see how it plays out.
Excellent. So what's been your best stage of the weekend?
Probably my first stage. Had a lot of long-range rifle in it, and I've been doing a lot of PRS shooting lately, so the long-range kind of fit well with what I've been practicing a lot lately.
Right. So are you using like the same type of reticles in both of your optics between the rifles?
It's similar. I mean, they're both mill-based, so a mill is a mill no matter what scope it's in, but my other one has a little bit finer reticle in it.
Right. Now, you actually shot like a PRS match. Was it last weekend and did pretty well, right?
Yeah, it was last weekend up in North Carolina.
Yeah, and how'd you do?
I ended up winning that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
What match was that?
That was Woody's Part 2 PRS match.
Okay. And so this is kind of a, if I'm remembering correctly from talking to you before, this is kind of a transition year where you're shooting a lot more PRS than you have in the past?
Yes, that's correct.
What made you make that decision?
Well, a lot of the PRS stuff plays directly back into the Army and what our guys are doing over there. It's a lot of alternate positions at long range, close range. It's real time based, so you got to be fast. It just plays in well with especially our snipers that are over there doing work.
Mm-hmm. And so then how does what you do in these matches and in the AMU filter back to the soldier that's going overseas?
We do a lot of training, and our training focuses primarily on getting shooters to get rounds on target faster. So obviously the training that we do in 3-gun and PRS translates directly to that. So that's one of the biggest reasons we're out here competing.
Excellent. So then do they give you like gear to test out that they may filter into different units and stuff like that?
No, not for the most part.
So it's mostly technique?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the biggest thing you've picked up from PRS that's different than, say, coming out here and shooting a 3-gun match?
Patience, man.
Yeah?
Patience. Wait on the sights. Let them settle. You get one round per target, so you can't just whack away at it and figure out your hold. You got to wait for it and let it settle and break good shots.
I would be terrible at that. So then how does your practice differ from your 3-gun practice in practicing for PRS?
3-gun is a lot of going fast and very technical movement type stuff, and PRS is getting as stable as possible and breaking a really, really good shot slowly. So it's almost opposite ends of the spectrum, but the speed that I've learned in 3-gun and the efficiency of movement that I've learned from 3-gun really plays strongly into the PRS, just getting into a good position quickly and giving you more time to break good shots.
Excellent. So now with PRS, do you use same facilities in your practice at the AMU that you do?
Yeah, we actually all practice on the same range.
Okay.
So.
And are you showing off all your PRS tricks to everyone else too?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Trying to?
Anyone that'll listen.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Tyler, thank you very much for joining me on the 3-Gun Show and taking just a few minutes to chat with me here today.
Yeah,
and good luck, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Daniel Hunter and Tyler Payne of the Army Marksmanship Unit. Now, this is pretty cool. When I was at RM3G, I got to watch the AMU shoot the stage as a squad, and more importantly, I got to see how they interact with each other. And, even though this is an individual sport, it's definitely very team-oriented. And they also had a lot of fun with each other, resetting the stage. They were running down to reset targets, racing each other. Someone even ate it, which was kind of funny, out in, the brush and cactus and stuff of New Mexico. But they were also tossing, clays to each other and you just having a good time. So I was really impressed by the teamwork and how much, just general good nature they were while resetting the stages. If you have any thoughts, feedback, or guest suggestions, you can email me. I'm Dave at 3gunshow.com. As always, please leave a review in iTunes. It only takes a minute and is huge for getting the show in front of shooters like you and I. Just visit 3gunshow.com/iTunes and click away and leave a review. If you like the podcast and you want to show your support, you can do so by using our affiliate link when you shop at Brownells. Just go to 3gunshow.com/Brownells and shop like normal. We earn a small commission on what you buy and no additional cost to you, and it helps cover the costs. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'll catch you in the next episode.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.